Hello there, welcome to We Are Crafted in His Image. Today we are on project number 4 in our Irresistible Blooms Cocoa and Crafts class. This is our last project, and it is a little treat bag. In your kit you were gifted some chocolates, and they should hopefully fit inside this bag if you want to gift this to somebody. If you haven't already eaten the chocolate, that is. But yeah, we're going to work on this bag, and I have not already pre-cut or scored anything because you get to choose which color, which one of these pretty pieces of paper you want to make your bag out of. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these out because the kits came with 1/4 of a pack of this paper. And in your very first project, inside the envelope, there was some ribbon and there was a tag already pre-cut, so you're going to want to have those ready. And then from these sheets again, you will want to cut out 1 flower and 2 sets of leaves. It doesn't matter if they're the 3 leaves or the 2 leaves. But from these papers, you want to pick out a pattern paper that you want to make yours out of. I am going to choose this one. As you can tell from here, this is the one I used on my first box or bag, whatever you want to, whatever this is called. And this is the one I'm going to use for this one. So let me go ahead and set these aside. And I'm going to show you how to score it. To score and cut. So what you want to do here, we'll put this over this way. If your pattern paper has a definite top and bottom, you want to score this across the bottom part here at 1 3/8 of an inch. That's just shy of the 1.5 inch mark. Okay, so 1 3/8 of an inch. And then what you want to do is score 1 3/8 inch again, but you only want to go to this score line that we've already done. So here I'm going 1 3/8. Is that good? Okay. And then okay, then your next one is 2 3/4. And actually these don't have to be score lines, these should be cut lines, but it's easier for me to cut with my paper snips. 4 1/8, and then 5 1/2. So you could do this with the cutter. It's just hard for me to see on camera when it's way up here. It's easier if it's closer to me at this end, but then you can't see it on camera. So after I've scored that, I'm going to go ahead and cut. And these we don't necessarily have to take a wedge out of. These can be cut pretty straight. There we go. Cut again. And then this one here, there it is. This one we're going to cut off this little rectangle on the end here. Okay, so that's what you have for that. Now you do need a pretty strong adhesive for this next step. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to apply it to this edge right here rather than applying it to my flap. Excuse me. One of these days this cough is going to go away. I just don't know when that day is going to be. Alright, so put that on there. And then this is the only part that's really kind of tricky is I didn't want any seam lines or any crease lines on here. So wrapping this around and sealing that without actually bending it, what I actually found I did was to wrap it around something to give it a little bit of support. So you can use, I'm going to use a glue bottle that I happen to have. It was about the right size, as long as it's that size or smaller. I'm going to line that up right there and then press that down. And that just gives me something to press against without creasing the paper. And you can even do this on something smaller. It doesn't have to be this big of size, but that just gives you something to press down on when you're doing that. Okay, and then I know I want this to be in the back area, so that's going to be my back. Let's see. Go ahead and fold these in. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and then see how the seam is here? This is going to be our front piece. This is the piece you want to go on last. And you can use tear and tape for that, or regular adhesive would probably hold as well, but I'm going to use tear and tape. Don't need a lot. This little extra piece just flip over there. There we go. And then, ta-da! Okay, now before I do anything else, actually, I can. I'm going to go ahead and close this up before I put the flowers on. Now, to close it, I'm simply going to pinch up here at the top. And then there are a couple of ways to close this up completely. On mine here, I punched holes with just a regular hole punch. Where is it? There it is. And I really just eyeballed that they were pretty centered on here, making them as far apart as I wanted them. There we go. And then I included a piece of ribbon for you. And, oh, we need to stamp our tag. I forgot about that part. If you do not have a hole punch and you don't have any way of doing this to tie it on here, you can also get like a clamp, like one of these little library clips, and you could just clip it together. You could even tie the ribbon onto that and then use it to hold the tag on like this. But we're going to go ahead and do the tie part. But before we do that, we need to stamp. So I have the words "I like you" on here. And it just barely fits on that tag. Some of the swirls get lost in the opening there. There we go. Alright. Put a lid. Oh, I almost got ink on my ribbon. Alright, so that's done. This is done. Let's go ahead. And I am going to actually use this to help hold it together while I tie it. I find that definitely helps. And put this in through the front. There's lots of different binder clips you can get. Different styles. Before I tie my bow, I'm going to go ahead and thread my tag onto there. And tie. Da-da-da-da. Maybe. My fingers are not cooperating today. Get on there. Come on, you can do it. There we go. And pull that. Pull this. I need to trim because one side is much longer than the other. Make sure that's nice and straight though. Alright. And there we go. So that part is done, and now it's simply a matter of putting some flowers on to make it pretty in the front. And I'm going to, of course, use dimensionals. I'm telling you. Oh, that's a brand new package. Let me get out one of my already opened packages. There we go. Put a couple of dimensionals on. Actually, I only need 2. Stick this on the front. I do have to say the flowers show up much better on this one because it's such a dark background. And then I think I'm using liquid glue on my leaves. There we go. Stick one in here. And one over there. And there we have 2 finished little goodie boxes. Now I do recommend that you put the chocolates in the box before you tie it up. If I untie that, I'll never get it tied back the same way again. However, I've already eaten my chocolates, so I have to figure out what I'm going to put in this one. I don't know. But yes, so that was our last project for this month's Cocoa and Crafts. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, God's love and blessings to you. Bye!